how can the operations and risk functions establish themselves more effectively on the corporate agenda?
I think it's very easy for risk functions to be sucked into low-level operational dialogue deep in the bowels of the organisation. I think it's imperative that they elevate the conversation to the top table. Granted, you need the right tone at the top to facilitate that conversation, but once it's there, I'd encourage risk functions to look at effectively where decisions are made in the business. I'm talking about the setting of strategy, definition of business plans, agreement of investment cases. I think when applied at that level, risk management is absolutely core to the corporate agenda.
Do you go to a centralized function for risk management, or do you take it decentralized and take it as the ownership of the business presidents or as the leaders? And I think it can be both. The organizational design is probably less important than the fact that it's an integrated process, because risk management requires so many competencies that one function can probably not integrate all of these competencies. So in our organization, and definitely what I see in other organizations and working with different industries, global companies, local companies, is that the process becomes very integrated but much more owned by the executive leaders and not just by a function, because there's always a risk when it's in a function that the responsibility gets delegated. So I think that's the way to put it higher on the agenda, is to really get the accountability and responsibility at the right level, and then it can still be supported by a very professional risk function that is connected to all the other functions to make sure that risk thinking is included in supply chain thinking, is included in sales thinking, is included in R&D, is included in finance, is included in safety and health. So all of these functions need risk thinking, can be connected to a central function, but for me the ultimate responsibility lies with the business leaders.